Hello and welcome to my review of the Nancon Revolution Pro Controller for the PlayStation 4. Here it is side by side with the original PlayStation 4 controller, and there's one obvious difference, is the Nancon is heavily inspired by the Xbox 360 design with its split analog sticks. Now I've slightly customized the two controllers where I have Control Freaks and an FPS foam washer on the PlayStation 4 controller, and I have a Call of Duty Insignia analog stick with a Jelly Pro cap, also with the FPS washer. These are the FPS aim assist washers that I'm using on the two controllers. It's a foam washer that you put on the analog stick that creates resistance when you move it. There's two in a packet. You get the black ones, which make it harder to move, and you get the yellow ones, which make it slightly less resistance than the black ones. I'll just show you the yellow ones on the original PlayStation controller. As you can see, they fit under the analog stick and just create a little bit of resistance, so it's harder to move the controller and supposedly get better aim. Now I am using these on all the controllers that I own, even back as far as the 360, and I highly recommend the product. It's only $5 on eBay. Other than the analog sticks being different, there is one other difference, is the directional buttons. This is an 8-way directional pad, this is a 4-way directional pad. This has a nice concave, smooth directional pad where your thumb fits in really easy, and it's very easy to move it around. And I am a fan of the PlayStation controller as well. The grips themselves are texturized on the Revolution Pro controller and have an Xbox feel. Well, this is obviously the PlayStation original design. Another one of the main differences, this is a wired controller versus a wireless controller. And the PlayStation 4 controller is very bad at holding its battery life. Well, this will last you all day and night if you want to play them long sessions. Another key difference or key feature is the oversized buttons versus the original buttons. Now these are a lot bigger than the PlayStation buttons and they're more tightly compact. It's all personal preference, but I think they're very nice buttons, and they're also very nice buttons. Now the Nancon Revolution controller has another trick up its sleeve. Inside the grips are actually weighted. They have these grips, beg my pardon, they have these weights inside the controller that you can switch out for your own use, and this key to open them up. So if you look at the ends of it, if you can actually get a view there, you slot the key in, pull them out, and you can put in up to 3 different weights. Now I bought the Nancon Pro controller from GameStop, and the guy in the shop recommended that I plug it into the PC first before putting it into the PlayStation 4 and configure its software. I thought it'd be plug and play like most controllers, but it was far from that. You actually have to go onto the Nancon Revolution site, download the app, put it on your computer, launch it, then plug the controller in, go into the software suite and map all the buttons. It's on profile 1 at the moment, which means it maps the PS4 original layout. Next we'll have a look at the main reason why I actually bought the Pro controller. It's because of its scuff-like design. It has 4 pre-mappable buttons on the back of the controller, which actually suit your hand perfectly. Now I'm playing Call of Duty Remastered, and I'm using the first button for a sniper hold breath and the second button as a reload button, and I don't use the opposite two. Also on the back you have your profile settings. You can set up to 4 profiles in the software manager and switch between them with this button and this button. Also the software allows you to map the sensitivity of the triggers. You can put it on 50%, 30%, 25%, whatever you want. You can basically make this a hair trigger which is great for first person shooter games. Now I have a couple of cons about the Revolution Pro controller. Is when you switch profiles on the back by flipping the switch, this glows red, but this stays blue. This always stays blue. You'd think it would go red to suit the actual controller, but that's just, I don't know, I'm just nitpicking with that, but like in my own head that should definitely go red. And the software is easy to use and very understandable. You can even change how much resistance you want on the analog sticks, but I never bothered changing it because I thought they were fine as they were. I think there should be an app on the PlayStation 4 home screen where you can actually change this rather than doing it on a PC and then coming back to your actual PlayStation 4. Now I actually have a fault in my controller, and it's my fault for not saving the receipt. You can see where the headphone socket goes in. Well, chat audio and game audio come through the headset. I cannot get it to actually record the sound of my voice. Like, my chat does not work from my end, so I had to revert to using the wireless headset and mic. This was a major downer when I realised I didn't have the receipt, and I contacted the company via email and they said this would return it to the shop, but I couldn't because I didn't have a receipt for GameStop. So all in all, what do I think of the controller? I think it's a very solidly built controller with excellent features, especially with the triggers on the back. It helps out a lot when sniping in Call of Duty. I do like the PlayStation 4 controller for other games, but when I'm playing a first person shooter, I'd definitely go for this controller. Thanks very much, and I'll see you all again.